Hello, audience. My name is Cheshire Wolf, and today we are playing Cover Me in Leaves, which is another one of the 10-minute game series. There's a warning here.
Read it.
Cover me in leaves, on bright minds and the ends of all things. So, I believe this is more of a kind of a visual novel slash kind of like a poem as a game. It's the end of summer. Sunset air weighing down like a blanket, and your fingers trace the lines beneath my sleeve. You drove me home, and we sat there, parked across from my house, just waiting. Nervous chatter, stolen glances, giggling, and then we kissed. Well, ain't that cute? I really like the art style. The art is very... I love oversaturated colors and neons and stuff. It looks so good. And then we kissed. It's the end of summer, and we're alone on that street, hidden from the prying eyes and gossipy, gossamer lips. In a few weeks, you'll be gone for greater things, just another bright mind lost to the coasts. But as you held me, read to me... Ooh... beep me behind that long-forgotten strip mall, I could simply let myself forget how soon this all must end. Oh, I'm not trying to be immature. It was a small town, even before I was born there. Those grumbling barflies, the uncles and the cousins with overflowing guts and a healthy fear of God, had all held down jobs at that lumber mill back when times were better. They filter from the pews, restless and stiff. There's a hopelessness here, one that soaks through to the bones. It's all rotting now, she says, that mill. But it was the kind of work you could take pride in. Chopping logs and packing trucks. They didn't need degrees to do that, did they? I nod and smile, and we pull away from the churchyard. 1,000 tiny crosses dig into the grass. 1,000 tiny graves. I do like the images. It's very, very well written. Very well written. And pretty. 3 weeks into fall, I get my first tattoo. A leaf, just a single leaf, traced out on the soft side of my wrist. Which is the soft side? They're both kind of soft. I don't know. Is that the inside, maybe? It's intricate and delicate, almost real enough to crunch. A crunchy gentleman, you might say. Small enough to hide, but enough to hide behind, you know? I'm sure you know. I don't actually know. I start going for walks. Long walks amongst the pines. There's nothing but forests here. I can let myself feel lost. But when I think of you, think of anyone, think of what they might say, there's this scratching, screeching, pealing at my eardrums. It's Sunday and I'm alone in the house. They only bother forcing me out for the weddings and the funerals. I turn on the radio, let someone else choose the music for once. The crickets hum, and the sun shines, and I'm allowed to exist. Oh, that's cool.
Bones.
3 minutes past noon means 3 minutes late to work, and something splinters beneath the wheels of my car. A sickening sound that carves through to the bone. In my rearview mirror, on the road, is a deer. A rotten, splintered husk. I kneel down to make sure this wasn't my fault, but it's been here for days, so I get back into my car and I drive. It wouldn't have hurt, right? This is natural. This is natural. It's ashes and dust. Did I tell you? I've been working at that old place in town. I'm not much of a bartender, but it's not much of a bar either, and the tips are good. Plus, well, the tips are good. This isn't my traditional playthrough, because this is very not a traditional game, but I hope you still like it. I bought myself a tarot deck the other week. I don't really think it works, but the rest of it is nice. It's calming. A little introspective. It helps. Tarot's really fun. I love tarot. I sweep out the emptiness in my room, dressing it up in plants and flowers and rocks and a tiny little bird skull I find by the road. It's not quite home, but it's close. My mom comes home one night, smelling faintly of wine. Did you hear about all this nonsense with the bathrooms? Oh, I bite my tongue. Remember Jimmy, that kid from, school? Mrs. Turner said she came home to the sight of him tangled up in her finest Sunday wear. A few years back, she did the only thing that would be right for that poor boy. She had him exorcised, Ma. Oh, man. That's rough. That's rough. Yeah, she had him exorcised, and it fixed him, didn't it? Can't say it didn't fix him. There's a beat. I let it happen. Say, whatever happened to him? I'll give you 3 fucking guesses. So if you're not reading between the lines there, the kid is trans, wasn't accepted by their parents, who got in priests to exorcise them, and they killed themselves because of it. That is rough. It's been a month. Did you know you're supposed to tip your tattoo artists? I had no idea. You tip your tattoo artists. You do it. Had to save up a little extra this time just to make it right. They asked me if my little leaf had healed okay. Any itching? Any redness? Any weeping or bleeding? But if you say yes, they might stop you from getting more tattoos, see? Be honest with your tattoo artist, because they can do other things differently to stop you from having those symptoms if you're experiencing them. This time I go bigger. A whole branch, leaves and flowers all curled up together. I'll never be able to hide it now, but my forearm is covered and perfect and gentle. And then it's morning, and my sheets are covered too. I strip the sheets and build a pyre down by the old shed. It crackles and smokes and screams blacks and greens and browns. A new bandage for my arm. A clean bandage. No need to worry. It's healing perfectly. It's quiet in the woods this time of day. Well, all times of day, really. But when it's light enough to see, just before the sun hits the trees, there's this moment of quiet. I can't help but savor it. This is how it used to be. This is how it could have been. You ever think it might have been worth it? Trying to make a stand here? Show the young'uns that they aren't alone after all? Maybe. Maybe. This has got some heavy stuff in it. I like it. It's a trek, but I make it to the old lumber mill before sundown. A factory carved out of the landscape. A landmark. Gangrene. Gangrenous. The metal is rusted, the concrete overgrown. They used to say there weren't birds left to sing in the woods, but I hear them singing now. Nature's calling in her debts. This mill was a body in a box. These years, it's cremation. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. My ink never drips out here, but at night I can feel it stirring. At night it shivers and slithers and peels from my skin. It whispers to me words of anger and fury and comfort. Then it's the weekend, and I swing by Mike's. Hey, Mike. He's always got time these days. I get a sprig of holly in my ankle. Oh, he's the tattoo artist. And some flowers on my shoulder. We lock in another appointment. Next Tuesday. I've got big plans for my collarbones. Same. 5:10, and the working crowd filters in. The beer is cheap, but most come for the company. You mustn't have a problem if you never drink alone. It was a long shift, I remember that much. Most nights, I just stand behind the bar, polishing glasses that were already clean. A rough-hackled man likes my ink, apparently. They never get handsy, but the devil finds work for idle minds. He tells me that, and they laugh. They all laugh. And all I can do is smile, so I smile as politely as I can. He just can't help his gaze from wandering. Fucker. In 5 years, this bar will be empty, its stone turned to dust. Not entropy, but nature. This town was built on borrowed time. It owes a debt. And when things return to the way they were, the way they should have stayed, time will bury this town, and I won't be dragged with it. Won't be dragged down with it. I make a promise to myself. I swear on whatever I have left, I'll be gone by Thanksgiving. These are the kind of thoughts that get me through closing. But I'm still here. I still haven't left. Haven't even made plans. Not real ones, and we're deep into October. So I sell my car. I've always loved that thing in a strange sort of way. Got me to school. Got me out of this shitty house in the summer. It's never been a fashion statement. God, I loved it, though. But if I could ever make it work here, then I'll never bring myself to leave. So I find a buyer, give her a good deal, say my goodbyes. I shrink my world. This is really beautiful writing. I really am liking this. And then it's November. I peel the bandages from my back, from my ribs. It's not done yet, but it's close. Flowers, branches, trees. I'm covered in ink now. Covered in leaves. Name of the game, roll credits. It's canopy, reminder, and a shell. Black and green and brown. I'm alive, and I'm held, and I'm safe. Night. Early morning, maybe. I close up the bar. The long walk home. I don't feel safe because I'm not, but there aren't a lot of options. So I walk. Despite it all, it's a perfect night. Crickets call and the moon is full. An owl hoots. The stars shimmer. There's a breeze, and for a single second, I feel safe in the world. And then I hear him call. Oh, it's the fucker, isn't it? He's a gangling man with a stubbly chin. Far too old for me, not that it could ever matter. His car is an awful half-truck with 2 doors too few, and he hangs out its window with a waggling tongue. You heading my way, sweetheart? I smile. As best I can, I smile. A polite reply. Just a few minutes from home. No need to worry. Oh, but he insists. 'Cause he's a fucker. There's a patch of damp on my collar, wet and dark, bleeding through to my shirt. The tattoo ink. I keep walking. Right foot, left foot. You got someone to head home to? A boyfriend? A husband? I can hear my blood pumping, flooding through my veins. Keep moving. Just keep moving. He's out of his truck now. Oh. Fucker. But it's a small town. People talk. He knows me. Of course he knows me. Knows what they say about me. Knows I've never found myself a real man. You want someone to teach you then, sweetheart? Let me teach you a few things, show you how a girl's meant to behave. Wouldn't want them thinking you queer, would we? Fucker. He reaches for me, reaches for my skin. Then he falters. Falters and stares, his hands stained black. Ooh, that's so pretty. Oh, that's so pretty. It pours from me in waterfalls and streams. Every inch of me is bleeding, bleeding black and brown and green, a cascade of color, whispering and flowing and screaming and beautiful. All of my anger and fury and comfort, it covers me, it buries me. It's all that I am, a forest in flight. His eyes are wide, so are mine. I'm everything he expected deep down. I'm everything I was so scared to be. And now I reach for him. Oh, shit. That's awesome. Oh, I did not know how that was going to go down, but this is so cool. One by one, I take his bones and lay them by the riverbed. Oh, shit. When winter comes, the waters will rise, and I will never think of him again. Every inch of him was borrowed, every speck of dust, every brutal thought. One day my debt will be paid too. I will be gone, and I will be everything. But I will not waste my insignificance, not like he did. I am not going to die in this town. Oh, that's where the menu image. My bags are packed. They've been packed for weeks. The bus driver glances at me, the girl with the stained skin and matted hair, but he's not paid enough to ask questions. I find a seat in the back and collapse. I let myself breathe. I let myself exist. They stay with me. Every little leaf, every branch and seed and flower. Maybe someday I won't need them. Maybe someday I'll have grown, and they'll have grown with me. But they're tied to me now. They cling to my skin. So I let myself be held. The bus pulls out, and just like that, I'm gone. A rumor, a memory, a topic for the holidays. That's all I can give them now, the last thing I'll let them take. That strange girl, the runaway. Just another bright mind lost to the coasts. Good callback there. Good callback. All right, there you go. I hope you're okay wherever you are. That is really sweet. So less of a game, more of a poem in game form, which is really cool. And I think, a really underutilized method of blending together different art forms, which I think is really cool. So not my traditional game that I do, but I really liked this game, and I hope you enjoyed watching this. It's one of the 10-minute games, so it's on Steam, it's super cheap. I highly recommend the whole bundle. It's lots of little games that are like 10 minutes or under. This took like 15 minutes. Dealt with some heavy topics. If you are having difficulty in your life with any of the topics mentioned in this video, I strongly advise you to seek out resources and help. I'll have links in the description to some relevant, helpful resources for things like transphobia and suicide and stuff. Yeah, stay safe out there. Until next time, look after your mental health because it's super important, and I care about you. See you next time.